Every farm has a story. When it comes to dairy farming, these stories are often only heard by the animals raised, the land stewarded, and the family that makes it all possible. Join me, Dairy Gal Val, as I interview individuals from across the dairy industry, both within the United States and across the globe, discussing topics like farm management, the food industry, ag business and technology, and most importantly, their farm story. This is the Dairy Hour Podcast. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Dairy Hour. I'm your host, Dairy Gal Val, and I am joined today by the one and only modern day farm chick, Annalise Wegner. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Excited to chat with you today.
Same. I've been looking forward to this, and I actually got a little starstruck when I reached out and you said you'd be happy to be on it. So I was just really excited. It's pretty neat to be able to have different quote unquote, I guess, idols throughout the dairy industry and people that you look up to, because I feel like it's so important to always have people that you're looking up to and constantly striving to, get better and see how different people do things. And I really enjoy following you and seeing your content. So I just want to give you a little appreciation shout out.
Oh gosh, well, thank you. Yeah, you're right. There's so many, I don't know, cool people in the world. And I mean, in the dairy industry right here, there's people doing amazing things. So I'm excited to listen to more episodes of your podcast too, because I love a good story. And you said we're going to hear some stories. So
That's what I go for. I'm here for the stories. So whenever you've got a good story, you feel free to insert it. So let's start off with a little bit just about you into like a snapshot of today's world.
Okay, yeah. So today I farm with my husband on his family's farm. We milk about 600 cows. So it's my husband and I, his parents, and we have about 11 employees. And then we have our two children, our twins. They're 5, Lane and Sage. So I do that. And then I have Modern Day Farm Chick, where I share bits and pieces of my story online. And within the last year, I've done a few things because, like we mentioned, I love a story. And I think it's so important for people in agriculture to share their story in one way or another. So I've kind of developed a little course and some events, and I have a retreat coming, all designed to help women in agriculture share their story.
Yes, I think Haley Pfeiffer will agree. We want you to come to New York. Haley, she likes milk, so you should totally come to New
Yes,
York and see all of us.
I would love that. It'd be so fun. I like following her too.
Yes, she was on a few episodes earlier, so
Oh,
make sure you
awesome.
give her a listen. I've
I
known her
will.
through our dairy promotion programs for a few years now, so it's really
Okay.
exciting, and it's great to
Yeah,
see where she's going with her page.
I know. I'm obsessed.
Definitely, and she makes everything look so extra pretty. Like
I
I
think
look
that's
and
why
I'm
I'm
like, I can't
obsessed.
make things look that pretty, like ever.
Right? She's a vibe.
Yes, for sure. A vibe I will never have, but that's
Yeah,
okay. She's also not a
right.
mom yet, so I guess I've got
Exactly.
the wrangling 3 children vibe.
Yes, I feel that.
So you are in what part of you're in Wisconsin? Are you like north, south, east, west?
We're kind of mid. I have to do my never eat soggy wheat. Midwest of the state, so near La Crosse,
Okay,
Wisconsin. Yeah.
very cool. So, in your day to day on the farm, you are what mostly in charge of calves and kids, or
Yeah, mostly calves and kids right now. Before I had the twins, Tom and I, my husband, worked pretty much side by side every day doing a lot of the herd health stuff. And then I was doing some calf stuff. And then the kids came, and your life completely shifts and changes, and you take on a new role. And it was a little bit of a struggle at first, just going from that full time farmer to now I'm a part time farmer, but full time,
yes,
butt wiper, snack lady, whatever. And so that was tough, but I kind of, I don't know, found my place and my space, and I love what I'm doing now. And I'm very thankful that I do get to spend this time with the kids because they do grow up so fast, and it's not always easy, but I'm glad I get to do a little bit of that both, be mom, and they'll be starting school full time next year. So I'm like what am I going to do?
Yep. It's like a newfound freedom. It is. My little guy, he just started a full day pre-K program last September. And it
Okay.
was very weird to not have any kids at home.
Yeah.
So it's definitely weird, but then you're like, "Ooh, newfound freedom." And then your freedom just gets taken up by other things and you just keep going. That's what
Right.
I've
Yeah.
found out so far. But and I don't know if this is like a fun little connection that I figured out that I have with you. Our twins are born on the same day, just different years.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
So
Oh,
I
how
just
old are
thought that
your
was
twins
funny.
now?
What are they, 2 years? Yours are 5 or turning 5?
They'll be 6.
They're turning
Yeah.
6. So they're a
Yep.
year, 2 years younger than mine.
Okay.
So,
Fun.
but it is funny. That's a good day to have twins in September.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a crazy day. If we're here for a story,
Well, I'm here for a
the
story.
the twins weren't supposed to be due until November, so they came very early. We were in the midst of corn silage. And so everybody was really busy, and I was like kind of having some pains or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, something's not right. I think I'm going to go to the doctor. And I was just going to drive myself. And I hardly made it down a mile down the road. I was like, Tom, I think you better drive. And he's like, are you serious? I was like, I'm serious. So he's like, I got to go take Annalise to the hospital. And a few hours later, the twins arrived, and it was just kind of chaos. But
Yeah, so
still,
my twins were a little over a month. They were due October 20th and they came mid-September. And
okay.
my husband was actually gone somewheres getting a load of corn. And I called him and I was with my mom because I kind of felt weird that morning. So I was still doing some milk inspector stuff. So I had my mom actually just ride along with me because I was like, I have to go a few hours from home. Like, Mom, you better just come with me just in case something
Right.
happens. And I got home and actually my water broke. And I called Greg and I'm like, hey, you know, my water broke. We're headed to the hospital. Like, how long before you can get there? And he's like, would you stop messing around? Like, you're not due yet. Like, you're totally not in labor. My mom's in the background. She is. She is. She's not kidding. She's actually having them. So he was in line to get loaded with corn at one of the local grain mills. And he's like, guys, this is not a drill. I know I don't know you, but can I please get corn in front of you? Because I can't go back home empty.
Oh.
And my wife is actually headed to the hospital to have twins. So it was interesting, but
Yeah,
definitely a
that is a
good
good
day
one.
that we share.
Yes,
It's a great
indeed.
day, that September day.
It is.
So a little bit about you growing up. I believe you grew up on a dairy farm. If you want to talk about, were you into the dairy farm as a kid? Were you not? Talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the young Annalise.
Oh, well, I grew up on my family's 1,500 cow dairy farm with my two younger sisters, and pretty much raised in the barn. At a young age, we were feeding calves with grandma, trying to help dad with as much as we could, and just like, doing all the crazy, fun farm kid stuff. But yeah, we were pretty lucky to not only learn from like our parents and our grandparents, but my great grandparents were still alive when I was a kid. So we spent a lot of time learning from them. And it was just the best. I was super involved in 4-H and FFA. I liked showing cattle, doing all the things. I would say, like, as high school approached, then you get into your, oh, I don't want to do chores, friends are more important. So I definitely did all that. But, you know, looking back now, I'm so glad my parents still made me do those chores, and it made me kind of who I am today.
Definitely. Now, you went to college for dairy. Did you ever at one point think that you were not going to go to college for dairy? Or is that something that
Um,
just kind of never?
yeah, I would say in high school, I debated doing something different because I also really liked, I don't want to say, I don't know how to, like, I wasn't like an artist, but I really liked putting things together. It's probably why I love Instagram now, because I like photos and things that are aesthetically pleasing. And so, like, I kind of thought about doing graphic design for a second, but didn't. I ended up going to UW River Falls. And I was like, I know I want to do something in agriculture. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back to the farm right away. So I started with ag business, quickly realized that's numbers. No, thank you. Get me out of here. And then I switched to ag marketing, which I did really enjoy. I thought that was kind of interesting, But after a few internships, I was like, okay, people are the worst. I just want to go work with cows. So then I finally decided on dairy science, and that's what I got my degree in.
And then you met Tom, and the rest is history, right?
Exactly. Yep. We met at the ADSA, the Dairy Club's one of those events. So it's always kind of a fun story to tell people that we met in a club for people who really like cows.
I mean, that's the best place to meet people, obviously, right? Like, why
Right?
not?
Yeah. There's so many great people.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I just got lucky. Mine kind of just decided he was going to come work on the farm for extra money and
Yeah.
got a wife out of the deal. So I guess we did all right.
Yeah. Bonus.
And he puts up with my shenanigans. So I guess we're good.
There you go.
But I bug him like you bug Tom. So I completely, he
I
feels
love it.
Tom's
You
pain.
have to. Yeah. It's the best kind of relationship. You got to tease each other.
It's our job to keep things interesting. He never knows
Right.
what's going to happen or what I'm going to say. So he also just loves when I share things on social media and he's like, did you really have
Oh,
to post this? So,
right. Yep. That
but it's,
sounds like Tom.
yes. Oh my gosh. So, yep. So then you met Tom, and actually, what made you decide to go back to Tom's farm instead of your own farm?
Yeah, that's another story. So like Tom and I met in college, dated, we, really liked each other, probably loved each other at that point, but neither of us talked about what was going to happen after graduation. Like I knew I wanted to go back to my family's farm and farm with my dad, and he wanted to do the same. And we lived 2 hours apart, so we're just like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And I had some like kind of family drama go down that ultimately made me decide I didn't want to go back to my family's farm. And so I followed Tom, and his family welcomed me with open arms and let me work there right away. And it's great. The family drama stuff is always messy and wasn't fun at the time, but honestly, if that hadn't happened, like I'm not sure Tom and I would have we would have chosen the farm over each other. So it's just funny how like the universe kind of kicks you to do certain things and gets you where you need to be.
Yes. And even at the time, if you don't realize why it's happening, or you just, why does this have to happen to me? But it sometimes,
Yeah,
well, it usually has a way of working out the way it's supposed to. So that's kind of cool.
absolutely. I am a big believer in that. Everything happens for a reason and there's a bigger plan.
It definitely does. And it is one of those just funny things, the way things work out. So we have a lot
Yep.
of those in mine and Greg's relationship and with the farm and stuff like that. So it is kind of cool the way things do work out.
Yep.
So I want to shift gears and talk a little bit about your modern day farm chick pages, business,
Yeah.
all the different things. So what made you, how long have you been doing it? What made you say, hey, I'm going to start an Instagram and I'm just going to share about things on the farm?
Yeah. So I started sharing my story, I think 10 or 11 years ago. But before I was sharing my story, I was sharing different blog posts and articles that other farmers were sharing online. And I was primarily sharing it with my maternal grandparents. They're a bit more removed from agriculture. They had a hobby farm when my mom was growing up, but like when it comes to today's farming practices, they're kind of clueless. So like I would share bits and pieces with them just to keep them in the loop. And it was a certain article about animal abuse, and I think Dairy Carey had actually written it. I shared it with my grandma, and my grandma immediately called me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, like this is so well written, so informative, good job." And I was like she thought I wrote it. And I was like, "Oh, grandma, like I didn't write it." But that's kind of what got me thinking, well, I could do this. I could blog at least to keep grandma and grandpa in the loop. And so initially I just started with a blog on wordpress.com, and I think I was sharing what I was writing on my personal Facebook page, and then I was like, gosh, is everybody gonna like be spammed with my farm shenanigans? Maybe I'll start a Facebook page. And so then I started Modern Day Farm Chick over on Facebook and was sharing things. And then Instagram came along. I had a Snapchat stint for a while.
I
Just kind of
almost,
always,
I might have found you on Snapchat originally. I'm
yeah.
trying to remember exactly how I found you, but I can't remember.
It could be. I was like pretty hot. I don't want to say hot, but I was like using that app a lot before Instagram stories came. And then I got into Instagram stories and it was like, well, I can just do all these things on one app. So, um, yeah. And then I was just sharing bits and pieces of my life. And then within the last year, I think I really built, which is so weird to say, more of a brand and started figuring out how to monetize, which is cool because it's very important for us to share our stories, right? But like it's a lot of work without a lot of reward. So when you can find those ways to make a little money, it makes it even more worth it because it's hard farming and doing something on the side and you don't make a lot of money farming. So when we can find extra income, that's pretty cool too.
Definitely. I 100% agree with that. It's
Yeah.
definitely a journey that you have to, it's a labor of love.
Hmm.
Definitely something that you have to love to do in order to keep doing it. I've been a little lax on my social media at the moment, but life has kind of taken the front seat. So I've
Yeah.
just been going with it and doing what I can, and that's good for
I've
now.
been, yeah, I've been in the same boat. Like this summer, I'm like, I just want to have fun. The kids are home. Like I said, they're going to be school full time next year. So I have been the same with social media. It's just not high on the ladder this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've had a lot of traveling going on, and I'm awful at like when I'm doing stuff, I always forget to just set my phone up. Like I'm like, oh crap, I should have like taped that or taken a picture or
Yeah.
done something. And I'm like, well, it's too late now, but okay.
Next time, next time.
Yes, maybe next time. And then next time comes around and oops, forgot again. Oh well, we'll get there someday.
Right?
So how many years did you say you've about been sharing online?
I want to say 10 or 11. I've been married 10 years and I started sharing before we even got married. So it could even be pushing 12 years. I don't know.
Time flies.
It does. It really does.
It definitely does because I think that the twins were maybe newborns when I started following you, so it's been
Okay.
a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you have the twins and you do have them on social media quite a bit. What are some of the fun things that they do on the farm? Because it's just so funny to watch young children learn how to do
Oh,
things on the farm or just the silly things that they ask, the silly things that they do. So, do you have any
yeah.
fun tidbits into the life of the twins?
Well, it's just like now that they're 5, they're kind of also getting to that stage where they are asking more questions. They're becoming more responsible. They're really learning and figuring things out. And it's just, they're so funny. Like my son can remember all these pieces of equipment and who drives which ones and which ones actually belong to us and which ones belong to the harvesting crew. And I'm, the things he can memorize just blows my mind, you know? And then we've had a lot of, I don't know, I can't remember if I shared this on social media, but like people that don't have animals, I don't know how they have the sex talk with their children because the twins have been asking so many questions like where do babies come from, and my whole like, mommies grow babies in their tummies is not enough anymore.
Not
They
cutting
want
it
the
anymore.
details. Yes. And if I wasn't able to like relate it to cattle and what they know about cattle and breeding cattle, like I don't know how I would have this conversation with them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So they're going to
It's
teach their classmates a lot in kindergarten is how that's going to go down.
probably, yeah, I'm a little nervous about that, but we'll
My
see.
I've always reached out to my like the teachers of the children like right in the beginning of the year. I'm like, so we're farmers. So if you hear something like real weird, don't like pass judgment. Just reach out to me and there's probably an explanation to it. So just
Right?
hold
That's a good
tight,
idea.
don't get freaked out and just ask me to explain. And they've heard some fun ones over the years, but they
Yeah.
haven't relayed anything too crazy that the teacher was just like, what is going on over there? Like,
Mhm. Oh, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Lane is very much the tractor machinery guy. And Sage, I would say leans towards the animals over tractors, but also, I don't know, she's going to be a boss someday. She's good at delegating and telling people what to do.
now does she get that from you or Tom?
Unfortunately, probably me.
Oh gosh. Do you see a lot of like you in both of them, or do they tend to go like she's more towards you and he's more towards Tom, or how does that play out more?
It's kind of like Lane is a little bit of a mama's boy, but lately he's been wanting to spend more time with dad or grandpa and just being in the tractor. And Sage has been more clingy to me, which is new because when they were younger, it was very much the different,
Yeah.
opposite way. And yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
found, well, my twins are identical girls, and they're funny because their personalities are like polar opposite.
okay.
They both have like very much me traits, but they both have very much dad traits. So it's quite funny to see the
Sure.
mixture and to see the clash when me versus me happens. And yeah, watch out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they don't look anything like me, neither of them, but they have probably all my worst traits, like being impatient, being loud. Like,
That also comes with being five, I think.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So what now I like to get into some random questions that spark
Ooh,
some conversation.
all right.
So what is your favorite pizza topping?
Ooh, this is hard. I mean, I'm cheese, right? So in addition to
In
cheese,
addition to
right?
cheese. Extra
Okay.
in addition to extra cheese.
I do like a pineapple pulled pork barbecue type
Ooh,
pizza.
okay.
That's always really good.
That sounds good.
Um,
See, and I'm
yeah.
so happy. See, I knew you were one of my people with pineapple
Yeah.
on pizza. You're not one of those
Yes.
anti-pineapple people.
No, I'd say the only thing I don't like on pizza or don't care for is Canadian bacon. I could do without the Canadian bacon,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
the pork and pineapple sounds quite good.
so good. It's usually anytime I have leftover pulled pork, I'm like, we're making pizza the next night.
And this is a random question that's geared directly towards you. And one of my favorite things that you post about sometimes, how many cups is too many to bring with you?
Oh, I, it's, you need at least three because water, then probably your coffee, and then either the third one's going to be iced tea or is it going to be whiskey? It depends on the day. I don't know, but I tend to have a lot of cups, all the
Yes,
drinks.
same. And my husband gives me so much crap for it. I'll be like, oh, can you carry this to the car? I don't have any more hands. He's like, well, maybe if you had a few more cups, you know? And I'm like, babe,
Right?
I need my water. I need
Mhm.
my coffee. And then usually mine is either more hot coffee if it's cold out, or it's to switch to iced coffee if it's, hot out. So
Yep. Yep. Got to
I'm
be
not a
prepared.
whiskey drinker. I'm not tough enough for that. So
It'll put a little hair on your chest. I
yeah,
swear that's what it does.
no, I'm not into the, yeah, no, can't do whiskey
No.
yet, but I think 3 cups is definitely a good number. I'm usually a
Yeah.
solid 2 or 3. So I feel
Yep.
that. Um, let's see. Favorite music genre.
Probably country. I would say that's usually what I have on, but I also like, I don't know, 90s pop or I like classic rock. My dad he used to drive us to school every day and he always had classic rock on. And so I feel like a pretty decent musical education.
Yeah, agreed. I
Yeah.
have a lot of that same, like, I like a lot of different things.
Mhm.
My mom doesn't even like country music, which I never knew growing up.
Whoa,
We
hot
always
take.
listened to country music in the barn when I was a kid, and she's like, yeah, the older country is tolerable, but I don't like new country and I won't listen to it. And I'm like, who are you and where did you come from?
Right?
Like, this is like a new discovery within the last couple years. I'm like,
Oh,
you don't like country music? Like, what is wrong with you?
yeah.
I don't know. She's like,
Crazy.
the old country's good, but yeah, she's a
Well,
classic rock kind of girl.
okay.
So she's got a much wilder side than I ever did. So
Oh, yeah. That's kind of
mom's
fun.
a wild one.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes the twins kind of act like her, and I'm like, yep, this is gonna be real fun when they hit
Oh,
teen years. So
sure.
I was mouthy, but I didn't get into a lot of trouble that way.
Okay.
So the jury's still out. We'll wait and see what actually
What?
happens as time goes on.
Yeah.
If they end up anything like probably my husband or grandma, like, we're in trouble.
In trouble. I was trouble in high school and I'm I know it's going to be payback. Everything I did to my poor mother, probably gonna come back 10 times worse with these two twins.
How was Tom when he was a kid?
Um, Pretty good. He got into a little trouble, but probably not as much trouble as me, or maybe just got away with more trouble. I don't know.
He was better at hiding it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's I guess that's probably kind of how my husband is. He was pretty low key,
Mm-hmm. Low key
boy.
trouble.
We're both in trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Um, if you won the lotto, what's the first thing that we would notice without you coming out and saying, I won the lotto?
Ooh, ooh. I don't know. I'd probably start remodeling our house, and you'd be like, "Oh, she got into some money."
She's got a new
Um,
kitchen, like
yeah,
new everything. Wow, okay.
right.
Farming's
An
really paying
outdoor
good over there.
outdoor kitchen. Yeah, probably maybe get a pool. Probably just stuff. I don't know. We love being home. Um, and so just anything we can do to make our house more, I don't know. And we love like having people over and friends and just being here. And so we're always kind of working on the house and making it a fun place to hang out. So
And then it makes it the hangout as the kids get older. It makes it the kid hangout. So that's always good too. And then you can
right.
help keep an eye on the wild ones.
Yeah, keep tabs on them. So yeah, if we won the lottery, we'd probably do something on the at the house. Tom would probably say put in a rotary parlor. He really wants a rotary. So he'd be spending his money on the farm. I'd probably be spending it on the house.
And then all of a sudden the money's all gone.
All gone real fast. Real
Yes,
fast.
definitely. Those are both expensive things. So you do like to be home a lot, but if you do travel, beach or mountains?
Ooh. See, I'm really torn. I love both. If it's January, I would probably say get me to the beach anywhere warm. But we did a trip this last fall to the Smoky Mountains, and that was really fun. Like we rode our side by sides through and rented a cabin. It was just like super chill. So I don't know. We have some more. Like I'd love to go to Montana. Some more like bucket list places like that. But I don't know. Beach is always nice.
Do you know how to ride a horse?
I do.
You do?
I took riding lessons as a kid. Um, so I spent some time riding horse, and then we have neighbors now who have horses, which that's the best kind of neighbor. You don't want to own a horse, you want to have friends with horses.
I'm unfortunately the one that owns them, but
Yeah.
yeah. But that's
Yeah.
my like sacred get away from everything,
It's
usually
fun.
relax. That's
Hmm.
that's what I do with my friends is we ride and do stuff and rodeo and do
Yeah.
all the fun things that way. So
Yeah. That's
I don't just
fun.
like to putz around. I like to go fast. So
Do you? Okay.
but no,
I
we
like it.
should definitely talk to Natalie Dvorak and get her to bring us out to the ranch.
Yes.
All right,
That
we'll
it's
have to
her.
tag
Oh,
her in this and get her to invite us out to go riding at the ranch.
I mean, those views. It's amazing.
Yes, as long as like nothing eats me, because that's my main like I get a little worried
Fear.
about wild animals. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I probably have watched too many like TV shows where, there's all of a sudden the big cougar that comes jumping out of the tree or something and I'm like, yeah. That's why I live in New York. We don't have I
Yeah.
mean we have god awful seasons up here that are either
Mm,
too cold or too hot or whatever, but we don't have
yeah.
like crazy wild animals. So I guess
And
that's
what are you like upstate New York?
yeah, so we're right in
Okay.
the capital region, so near Albany, right next to Vermont.
Okay.
Yep.
I did an internship in college in the Finger Lakes.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah.
See, it's a
It's
small
it's
world.
very pretty there. And like pretty similar to Wisconsin, honestly.
Yeah.
Like landscape and weather wise for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, that's why I live where the air hurts my face because there's no
Yeah.
giant snakes. So that's also
Amen to that.
a good
Hmm.
reason. The other day, my one of the twins, she was telling my mom about how much she liked snakes
Oh,
on TV. I absolutely am like an absolute nutcase, like petrified of snakes. And she's
okay.
telling my mom how much she just loves snakes. So then the next day she was walking, it's like 100 yards from my house to my parents' house. So the kids walk back and forth all the time. And apparently there was just a little garden snake near the lilac bush. And Sadie came running and screaming. And she's like, Grandma, Grandma. She's like, what's wrong? There was a snake. And my mom's like, you literally said yesterday that you like snakes. Yeah, I like them in books and on TV, not in real life. She said. I was
Oh,
like,
that's
okay.
funny.
So there's
Yeah,
a little bit of me in there after all. Like she's like
right.
telling her all about how she likes snakes. And my mom's like, just so you know, you're never getting a snake. Like your mom will not allow it. Not
No.
within,
The twins really got into the show Swamp People Serpent Invasion,
oh
where
gosh.
they go and like hunt these snakes in the Everglades, and it is quite the show.
Yeah, I would have nightmares. We're gonna keep that one right away.
All right, we won't send that your way.
I can do regular swamp people. I do like to see a good gator, but
Yeah,
snakes is where
not
I
the
draw the
snakes,
line. I can't. They move too fast with no feet. Like it's
right?
how does one move so fast when you don't have feet?
Or just like the way they can expand their mouths and their bodies to
Oh,
like
yeah.
it is kind of they're weird. They don't make any sense.
No. All right, we need to move off that topic because giving me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, so favorite dairy product.
Cheese, cheese. But I am a huge Greek yogurt fan. I feel like Greek yogurt is totally underestimated because
It
there's just
totally
like
is.
so much protein in there. You get the plain stuff, you can do so much with it. It's just I love Greek yogurt.
So something that I learned from Haley in the She Likes Milk episode, she mixes vanilla Greek yogurt and cottage cheese together. And I did
Interesting.
it the other day and it was interesting, but it was actually quite good.
Because I'm not a cottage cheese fan.
See, I love cottage cheese,
Oh,
but it has like a little bit of the cottage cheese texture, but it has like the vanilla Greek yogurt texture.
okay.
It was actually quite good.
Huh. Maybe I'll have to dabble that way.
She gets all the credit for it though. It was her
All
idea.
right. I'll tag her.
But it was actually I was a little worried. Like I only did like a little scoop of each, and I'm like, if that way, if I don't like it, like I'm not wasting all my good
Yeah.
stuff. And I was like, wow, this is not bad. And I made myself a little bit more and had it for lunch. So I mean, here we are.
There you go.
July National Ice Cream Month. What's your go-to ice cream?
Ooh, I like a mint chocolate chip or like a cookies and cream would be my two favorites.
Cookies and cream is top notch. I've not gotten on the mint bandwagon.
No, I like mint, but I also there's so many. Vanilla with like some fresh strawberry sauce is pretty good too. I mean,
Ice
is
cream's
there a
pretty good
bad
in
ice
most
cream?
ice cream's
Yeah,
pretty good in most varieties.
indeed.
Tends to be good always. Do you have like a favorite spot that you go get ice cream or a favorite like brand that you get in the Midwest?
So like I don't hate me, everyone. I'm not a big sweets person. Like I'm the kind of gal who would have a hard time turning down like a basket of fries. But like ice cream, I don't know. I should have Tom on for this question because he is like a dessert connoisseur. But there are some like cool places in downtown La Crosse. There's like an old school ice cream shop that has pretty good ice cream. But otherwise, I'm not too picky.
All the ice cream.
Yeah.
Um, okay, favorite cut of beef.
Ooh, probably a ribeye. But I've also lately been liking a flank steak.
Flank steaks are good. We had one the other
Yeah,
night. You have to
those are
cook
pretty
them
good.
right.
Right. If you figure that out, they're really good.
Agreed. That's that one and skirt steaks. Very underrated.
Okay. Yes.
My
Yes.
husband does skirt steak on the grill and it's delicious. But it's you have to
Mm-hmm.
cut it at the right like angle. And I'm not the griller. I'm not the cooker of the meat by any means.
Yeah.
Whatever he does it right and it's amazing. So
Yeah.
that's definitely where I am at. All right, we'll do one more question. Inspirational quote and why is it inspirational to you?
Ooh, geez. I needed time to think about this
I'm
one.
sorry,
This
I
one.
put you on the spot for that one.
Yeah, this is a on the spot one. I don't know. How about I just tell you a quote I recently heard that I liked?
That
So we were
works.
camping this weekend with some friends, and I was like, oh, like anytime we're gone for the weekend, I get the Sunday scaries where I start like as soon as it's Sunday, I'm like thinking of all the things that I have to do this week and what am I behind on and this and that. And my friend said to me, don't let Monday ruin your Sunday. And I was like, oh, that's good. Like, just take it day by day, enjoy the day, everything will be fine. it'll work out. So that's been my new motto this summer.
I like that one
Yeah.
because I'm the same way. Like I'll be like, okay, I have to remember tomorrow I need to do this, this, and this. And then I sit down and I have to write it all down or I can't stop thinking about
Yep.
it. Gotta empty it
Exactly.
onto the list.
Get it organized and then you feel a little bit better.
Yes. Or it's like, I won't forget to do it now. It's out of my brain. Like once it's written down, it's like I can just take it out of my brain and stop
Yes.
stressing over it.
100%.
You're a list maker too?
Oh, so many lists, so many pieces of paper all over the place.
Yep.
Because
Definitely.
do you do it in your phone? Like I can't, I need it on a piece of paper.
Thank you. That's these people that have the checklists in their phone. And I'm like, but it's not satisfying. Like
No.
all you do is erase it and it's just gone.
Right.
Like I
Yeah.
like to just cross that sucker out and be like, all right, check, done.
And there's just something nice about writing it down too. I don't know. Just
Agreed. 100% agreed.
yeah.
So I love it. Do you want to plug your stuff one more time?
Yeah, so you guys can all follow me. I'm Modern Day Farm Chick on Facebook, Mod Farm Chick on Instagram, and the thread. The thread. Are we threading now? Have you gotten on?
No, I have not
yet?
gotten on that. I've really been slacking on social.
Yeah. And then Annalise, no, I'm Mod Farm Chick on TikTok, but primarily just follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And then my website is annalisewagner.com.
Very good. Annalise, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. This is just your gentle reminder to follow me at Dairy Gal Val on social media. Leave me a podcast review. Also, share the podcast with friends. Tag me. Please share with your friends if you really like it. And that'll be all for today. Thank you for joining the Dairy Hour podcast. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to be notified of future episodes and leave a review. You can find me on most social media platforms at Dairy Gal Val or online at dairygalval.com. Thank you so much for coming to the Dairy Hour.